Everything I mentioned will make a massive difference as well. But if you don't do this last one, no matter what you do in the rest of the steps, the results just won't be as good as you would get if you do what is in this 5th step. Hey loves, it's Angelica, aka Angie B. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Hit the bell icon right down there so you get notifications when I post the next episodes. Let's get into it. Today is episode 2 of the Hair Growth 101 series, and today we are talking about how to build a routine that actually works with product recommendations. So let's get into it. So I have been on a hair growth journey for a few years now, and I have been learning along the way, and the thing that has made the most difference is realizing that consistency and a simple routine is the most effective thing you can do to grow your hair. But besides consistency, to be honest, products do play a big role in our hair growth as well. And just because a product is good doesn't mean it's good for you. So for you to know what products you need, the first thing you need to do is understand your hair type. And when I say your hair type, I mean more of oily, dry, breakage prone, that kind of thing. Your curl type and your hair's porosity doesn't matter as much as you think it does. You just need to think of it in terms of, do you have straight hair? Do you have curly hair? Do you have tighter curls or do you have looser curls? 4A, 4B, 3C is not that helpful actually. Also, knowing if you have dry hair, a dry scalp, or an oily scalp will be a lot more beneficial than getting stuck on what the porosity of your hair is and the name of your curl type. So the first thing that you need to focus on is your scalp health. A healthy scalp thrives because your hair is not growing from the ends, it is growing from the scalp. So you need to keep your scalp as healthy as possible. If you're dealing with dandruff, product buildup, excessive oil, this can actually hinder your hair growth. So you need to focus and make sure that your hair is well nourished and clean. Other scalp issues can also be medical, like seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis. And so before you start looking for products that will help grow your hair, you should be looking for products that can treat your scalp condition first and then move on from there. Once you know your hair type, your scalp condition, then you can create your routine that is targeted to your specific issue: dryness, oiliness, dandruff, and let's get into that now. So before you look into any fancy products and tools like LED therapy, rice water, rosemary oil, all those things, you need to build the base of your hair growth routine first. And this starts with a shampoo. Now, if you use a lot of products that are heavy, that have a lot of oils and gels, and you just use a lot on your hair, you may need 2 shampoos, a detox shampoo and a regular shampoo that will most likely be sulfate free so that it doesn't cause any dryness, breakage, and you can be safe with using enough of it. If you only wash your hair once a week and you're not product heavy, you only need 1 sulfate-free shampoo or 1 very effective shampoo, even if it has sulfates in it. My personal favorite shampoos are any shampoo from Pureology, but my favorite ones are the NanoWorks Gold, the Strength Cure, and the Hydrate. That's the purple packaging, the blue packaging, and the gold one. And then for a detox shampoo, which you can either use like once a month, or if you use a lot of products on your hair, the Red Can cleansing cream is amazing. I've heard that the K18 and Whey cleansing shampoos are also really good. Just know that these shampoos always feel a little bit drying, and that's why you don't have to use them very often, but they do get everything off your hair and your scalp. Another thing to note is shampoo is meant for your scalp. It is not meant for your hair. The lather from your scalp is enough to lather the rest of your hair. You have no reason to be putting shampoo on the ends of your hair, on the lengths of your hair, even if your hair is really dirty. And if you're using excessively thick and heavy products to the point where you have no choice but to use shampoo on the ends of your hair, you should probably stop using those thick products, okay? Focus the shampoo only on your scalp and then use the lather and the rest of that to wash the rest of your hair. And then when it comes to frequency, 1 to 3 times a week is good. Once a week works for me, but you know what works best for you. If you have really oily hair, if you go to the gym and you sweat a lot and it gets all in your hair and you need to wash your hair more often, that's also going to determine what shampoo you use. Because if you wash your hair more often, you can get away with using gentler shampoos more often. But if you find that every time you wash your hair one day and the next day your hair is super oily, Even if you have an oily scalp, there's probably something wrong with your method of washing your hair and you need to improve it. And you're probably not putting the shampoo on your scalp. You're just putting it roughly on your hair and your scalp is still dirty. Next, let's talk about conditioner. Now, this will also depend on the frequency of how often you want to wash your hair. For a simple basic routine, all you need is a hair mask, which you could use once a week. However, there's no need to use a mask more than once a week. So if you wash your hair 2 to 3 times a week, you can go for a regular conditioner so that every other time you wash your hair, you just throw in a quick little regular conditioner to keep your hair hydrated. But then once a week, you should use a mask. When it comes to conditioners, I also recommend the matching Pureology conditioners. But for deep conditioners or masks, Amika is where it's at. The Hydro Rush, Soul Food Nourishing Mask, and the Cure, depending on what you want for your hair, what your hair growth goals are. Are you looking for something strengthening, a proteiny treatment, a nourishing treatment, or just a moisture treatment? Any of these 3 will work amazing. Amika works across the board. It works for me, it works for my mom, it works for my sisters. We all have completely different types of hair, and everyone I've seen that has tried Amika absolutely loves it. So that is my top recommendation. But of course, you can find whatever hair mask works best for you. Another important thing to know when it comes to conditioner is that conditioner is meant for your hair. It is not meant to condition your scalp. If you have dry hair like I do, you can get away with putting more conditioner or a mask closer to the roots of your hair, but you're still not putting it on your scalp. You're just putting it on the roots all the way down. If you have oily hair, you're looking to put your conditioner from slightly above mid-lengths all the way down. You do not need conditioner on your scalp. The only thing it's going to do is weigh your hair down. So placement of product is very important. It's basically the exact opposite of shampoo. Shampoo is for your scalp. It's not for your hair. That's the same way. Conditioner is for your hair. It is not for your scalp. That's how you're going to get the most effective results. Now, the way you apply deep conditioner is the exact same way you apply a mask, but not the same as the way you apply a regular conditioner. And this is only when it comes to the time that you leave it in. Deep conditioners work best when you leave them in for anywhere from 15 minutes to like 40 minutes. Leaving it overnight or 2 hours is actually quite unnecessary unless like you're just very busy and you forgot. But intentionally, 20 to 30 minutes max is perfectly fine for a deep conditioner to do its job. It penetrates into the hair shaft and it really, really makes a massive difference in your hair growth. That is why I say if you're going to have only one, a deep conditioner rather than a regular conditioner is best. You only absolutely need a regular conditioner if you wash your hair more than once a week. The third step is one that's usually left out when it comes to a basic routine, but I think it's actually very important to keep in a basic routine, and this is some form of scalp stimulation. You don't have to use any products or buy any products. You can just give yourself a scalp massage using your hands every single week. This wakes up dormant follicles. It stimulates blood flow to your scalp, which promotes thicker, fuller, healthier hair that grows at its optimum rate. You can buy a scalp massager if you feel like it's boring or you constantly forget to do it with your hands. The results will not be massively different. It will probably be the same. It's just that using other products to massage your scalp just makes it a little bit more fun and something you're more prone to do more consistently, because if you're not consistent, it's not going to work. Personally, just a scalp massage with my hands does the trick. Now, once you're comfortable in your routine and you feel like you want to add products that are not absolutely necessary to your routine, in this same scalp stimulation step, you can add in an oil, a serum, or something that you can use to stimulate your scalp, like low-level laser therapy, a scalp serum. Kerastase has amazing ones, and there is a lot of affordable options too. Even iRestore has a really good one. Or you can use an Ayurvedic oil or any kind of oil that has stimulating ingredients like peppermint, rosemary, or tea tree. And you can apply this to your scalp 1 to 3 times a week. Massage that in your scalp and it will be extremely effective as well. Now, step 4 is one that I used to skip halfway as well, but it is extremely important, and this is a leave-in treatment. A liquid leave-in in particular makes a massive difference. If you have thicker hair like me, you may want to use a liquid a liquid leave-in and then follow up with a leave-in cream in certain instances. But sometimes a liquid leave-in by itself is perfectly fine because it is light and thin enough to go into the core of your hair and moisturize your hair from the inside out and make sure that you maintain and keep as much moisture as you can from your deep conditioning treatment. If you skip the leave-in treatment and just leave your hair alone and just put maybe like an oil on top or something like that, your hair may feel fine on the first day, maybe even the second day if you have oily hair, but by day 3, you'll start to notice that your hair just feels a little bit more dry and brittle. A leave-in makes a massive difference. My top 3 are in order of importance. Number 1, Pureology 21 Benefits Color Fanatic. And then we have the Amika, is it Hydro Rush as well? It's in the blue bottle, the leave-in. And then L'Oreal is basically an alternative to the Pureology one. It's also like a 21 Benefits type of leave-in. These 3 are amazing. Many different price points depending on what your hair type is. I've just noticed that they work extremely well and they make a massive difference. I only started using liquid leave-ins about less than 2 years ago, and that's simply because I would only use cream leave-ins because I have thick hair, and everyone with thicker hair says you should use a thick cream to seal in that moisture. And every single time I used a liquid leave-in, even when my hair was relaxed, it would make my hair feel so dry and hard and brittle, until I fell in love with Pureology, and that renewed my love for liquid leave-ins, and I started to find ones that work best. And so far, from everything I've tried, these 3 are the top 3 that I would highly recommend. Also, if I didn't mention this, none of this is sponsored, but I will list every product that I mentioned in the description box below, so check that out. Another thing you can add to your leave-in treatment is if you use any kind of heat, even if it's just like a blow dryer, this leave-in stage is where you can also add in a heat protectant, whether it's a serum, whether it's a spray, liquid spray, or something silicone-y. This would be the stage where you add it in as well. And now let's get into something that will make the most difference above everything that I have mentioned. Everything I mentioned will make a massive difference as well. But if you don't do this last one, no matter what you do in the rest of the steps, the results just won't be as good as you would get if you do what is in this 5th step. And this is focusing on healthy habits with your diet, your exercise, and your sleep. A healthy diet that's rich in protein and omega fatty acids is actually going to make a massive difference when it comes to your hair growth. Whenever I start eating better and going to the gym, drinking enough water, and getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep, I notice that not only is my hair growing, but everything looks so much better. My skin is glowing. I just feel so much better. You'll be less stressed. Stress is one of the main causes of hair loss and hair damage because your hair is not a vital organ. So one of the first things to go when you are unhealthy is your hair, because it's not a vital organ. Your hair is going to neglect it. It's going to focus on things like your heart, your kidneys, your liver, and then whatever leftover nutrients you have will be like, okay, I guess that can go to the hair. So if everything is in great condition, then your hair can also reap those benefits. Exercise is something that also really helps with stress management because it releases all the feel-good hormones. It reduces your stress naturally just by working out. And as you work out, it increases blood stimulation and blood flow to your entire body, including your scalp, which is what you need for healthy hair growth that grows as fast as it can, as healthy as it can, and look as good as it can. Now, if you are going to use heat, like I mentioned before, when I said you have to use a heat protectant, you need to make sure that you're not using it on a heat that is too high for your hair. You're not using it too frequently. You should never use heat more than once a week. Even once a week is a lot, but you should not go more than once a week adding heat to your hair. You also want to use the right tools for your hair type and your hair goals. If you like to keep your hair curled very often on like straightened hair, you may want to go for things like heatless curls, things like a Dyson Airwrap or a Shark Flex style. Even though they're less damaging, if you overuse them, they still will be damaging. So stretch your styles as much as possible, use the right tools, use the right heat protectant, and try your best to avoid chemical treatments that are harsh like bleach, relaxer, and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to how long it's going to take for you to see results, patience and consistency are your best friend. You want to wait 3 to 6 months for anything that I'm recommending or not recommending, whether it's minoxidil, low-level laser therapy, whether you're taking hair growth vitamins. In 2 to 4 weeks, I'm sure you could see some sort of results, but you won't see drastic enough results that can be maintained unless you are consistent and you are patient. If you are not patient, that's also going to increase your stress levels that can actually affect your hair growth. So just remember that no matter what you do, the time is going to pass anyway. If you think 3 to 6 months is so long, well, even if you don't do anything to your hair and you just decide to neglect it, 3 to 6 months are still going to pass, so you might as well do something good. You also want to do things that make your hair growth journey easier, like avoiding tight hairstyles and sleeping with a satin bonnet and or a satin pillowcase as well. Let me know what your favorite tip was in the comment section below. Watch episode 1 here if you didn't see it. Hit my face right there to subscribe if you didn't in the beginning. Thank you so much for watching, and hit the bell notification so you get notified when I post the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!